Our state's unemployment insurance agency, meanwhile, has paid out hundreds of millions of dollars in fraudulent payments.
Meanwhile, it's losing workers left and right and still having issues answering all the calls. Fox 17's Ryan Cummings live in the newsroom with an update from the agency's director on some of those issues. Ryan?
Derek and Janice, the woman testified in front of a House committee this morning, and overall there seemed to be more questions than answers after it was all over.
Thousands remain on unemployment in Michigan. They tell Fox 17 they cannot get through on the phones, their calls are dropping, and the online chat does not work. Even their state reps cannot solve their problems.
Unless this governor gets off her throne and allows these people to work, or you guys get these people help, they are not going to be open. I am infuriated that the governor and you are not in constant contact on a weekly basis, trying to figure out how to help these people.
Thursday morning, an oversight committee questioned the agency's interim director, LIZA Olson, starting with the so-called $85,000 in hush money paid to former director Steve Gray when he resigned.
It's a contractual issue with HR, and I'm not going to comment.
So you won't comment on whether you would take that money or not?
Correct. I'm not in that situation, so I'm not going to comment.
Just like hundreds of thousands of claimants, politicians could not even get straight answers.
How often do you talk with the governor?
When I need to.
And how often is that? I mean, I would say that's probably you probably need to a lot because there's a lot of issues going on. We're just trying to figure out what is the communication going on. So how often is it?
I don't know. Like I said, when I need to.
When was the last time you met with the governor?
Maybe a month ago.
Since March 15th last year, the agency's paid out nearly $31 billion. It's handling 23,000 calls, chats, and appointments a day, and more than 10,000 claims alone were filed last week. There are nearly 500,000 active claims with no issues at all, more than 10,000 who are waiting on ID verification but may be fraudulent, and close to 30,000 claims remain unpaid.
No, I think Fox 17 has done a tremendous job when it comes to the unemployment issue.
Representative Steve Johnson chaired the committee. His office reached out to me before the hearing to see what questions I would ask the director since I've never been granted an interview. He, too, is frustrated with the UIA.
They showed that they have a lot of issues over there that they need to fix, and they need to fix them soon. We have a lot of people that are hurting right now, and the unemployment agency just isn't coming through for them.
And the UIA sites around the state are still shut down. Lawmakers can force them to open, but the governor could veto that.
Even the Secretary of State's office is open up for appointments, but the unemployment agency isn't. And they really provided no good reason for it. They said, well, it's because of COVID. Well, you know, their brothers and sisters in the SOS are open. They're finding a way to deal with it.
The UIA would not answer specifically how much it's paid out in fraudulent claims, only saying the number is in the hundreds of millions. And criminals have become incredibly brazen. Just look at these documents the agency's received for ID verification.
On your left, if you can see that, that is a picture of John Krasinski, Jim from The Office, that has been photoshopped onto that ID, which is indication of fraud. Arnita, who is our passport on the other side, if you look at it, and I'm not sure how closely you can see it, but there's no last name associated with the passport, only a first and a middle name.
The agency has 1,100 to 1,400 people answering phones, but the turnover is high, and the director says some do not have thick enough skin to be yelled at all the time. Rep. Johnson and others just want more results for those who are struggling.
If they would just open their offices up, so many of these issues would be resolved overnight.
Now, he tells me that the Oversight Committee is now looking to put together a special task force to investigate the UIA. That entire hearing is more than an hour. Of course, we could not get to everything tonight, so if you do want to watch it, just head to this story at fox17online.com. Live in the newsroom, Ryan Cummings, Fox 17 News.